While doing your normal stuff, best on an extermination mission, if I'm being 100% honest here, every now and then you'll find a floating book, while of course looking for these, the Echo one being the one you kind of want the most. There it is. To be fair, in exactly the same room it always seems to be in. And this has a few interesting factors to it. But here's the thing, it doesn't always spawn in that one room. It can spawn anywhere. Unbound Whisper Part 2. Ow. Scanny, scanny, scanny. Hehe. Let's take some damage. Oh! Why are you taking, like, no damage? Seriously, why are you taking no damage? Better, better. Assuming you don't get downed, of course. The way that this works, you take the first part down, eventually it kind of mimics the abilities of whatever frame kind of brings it to life. And as soon as you've done the first part, a waypoint will appear for the second part after it fades into the floor. Give it a second. Oh, it's still alive. Once it is down, a waypoint will appear and you have to get there as quickly as possible to take on the second part. Yeah, that one was a bit weird. But this is a two-part mission and you will have to run as quick as you can because that blue bar at the top, if it reaches the end, this thing will basically escape. Take it down and then it will drop an arcane. And part of it's, yeah, this one was broken, because this was recorded prior to them fixing it. They also added these to bounties to defeat the Mocking or Scathing Whisper. It's a doppelganger. As forementioned, it will mimic the frame and operator slash drifter slash whatever of the person who actually summons it. And it's quite an interesting little side mission inside of them. There's kind of a mini boss, if you will. And if you actually scan it once and look at it in the codex, you can see the drops, the arcanes it drops, are all melee based. There is of course two of these things, and yeah, they both kind of drop the same thing because technically it's kind of the same one. The Book it arose from is its only vulnerability. Same thing. I prefer calling it the Unbound Whisper, but that's just what the action you are taking when you're actually summoning these things, the Whisper grimoire, and you unbind it from it, and then you basically take them out. But whatever frame you have equipped at the time is the one it will mimic, so that is the one that will come out in the codex. It is a great way of farming Albrecht's notes. It's also a better way of farming the new melee ribbons. If you do it during the assassination missions, you can come out of it with 2, unless you do it during Operation Gargoyle's Cry, in which case you can actually come out of it with 3 arcanes for melee, because technically the Void Angel is, or was for some reason, dropping it. Not really sure what happened to that. It just kind of stopped, so we'll stick with the 2, which is really useful because these melee arcanes can be really, really useful. The problem with the missing arcane and the missing book entry that came from taking out this entity, the spawned in the ceiling above. They have fixed this. The solution at the time was to kind of jump and take it down. The first few times I came across this is when most of this was actually recorded prior to it working properly, because it didn't work properly at all. You get to the second part and it wasn't even waypointed the first time round. You basically took it out and that was it. You didn't know what else to do with it. They fixed that and then fixed the arcanes. Then they decided they were going to stick it as part of the bounty. The missions that you do, you had to hunt this thing out and take it down. It was annoying, especially since they basically gave it a very, very weird name. But it says unbound whispers every time you come near the thing. Hence the title of the video. Is it worth actually hunting these things out? Yes. For the extra arcane to dissolve it or whatever you want to do with it. Yeah, it is actually worth finding these things and taking them out. They spawn in pretty much every mission. They can spawn in pretty much anywhere on the map. They can spawn in every little end room, we shall put it as, or to the side of some of the main rooms. This thing can quite literally spawn pretty much everywhere, but it drops the arcanes. You have the codex entry, or as I put it earlier, the book entry. Also worth doing to get a hold of that, though that doesn't actually kind of give you anything. Still waiting for them to add the Steel Path reward, hence I haven't finished this on Steel Path, is also the main reason. Ooh, I'm not getting into that one. But this, yes, this thing spawns absolutely anywhere. It has got so much better since I actually recorded this video, because I did start recording this before the second part of it was waypointed, and before they fixed the arcanes actually spawning where you take the enemy out and not in the ceiling, and before they even added it as a bounty, not even a reward, a bounty side mission. Actually, as part of the main part of the bounty is usually you have to do this or it won't work. You can leave, but the mission will fail if you don't find this thing and take it out. Worth doing because the arcanes are fairly useful. Also, if you don't care about the arcanes, worth doing because you can always dissolve the arcanes and turn them into something else. But with that, we'll leave this off. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.